Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds. Lawrence?
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another amazing episode of Slabs Geek Talk Podcast. That's right. We're back for another one. This week, this episode, we're going to talk a little of everything. We've got some Star Wars, Marvel, DC, a little of everything we're going to talk about. That's right. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be exciting. Just sit back, relax, as I take you on this journey through the realms of pulp culture. That's right. Let's have some fun. What do you say? Huh? How's it going? What's going on? Hey, what's up? Yeah. All right. Oh boy. This weekend, school started for everybody. So it's been a tiresome weekend getting everybody ready for school. That's for sure. That is for sure. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I hope everybody's ready and raring to go for this week. I have a feeling this week's going to be a very blah week when it comes to pulp culture. I just feel like there's nothing that's going to be interesting that comes out. It's the end of the summer, the beginning of the end of summer, school's back, and I just don't feel like any studios are going to do any big announcements or do anything special or fun at all, which is unfortunate. If this is your first time watching or listening, hit that like button, hit follow, hit subscribe, whatever it is you're listening or watching on, hit that button to follow, subscribe, listen constantly, because the support is nice. I like the support. So please support us. All right, let's get into it though. Enough with the small talk. All right, let's get into it. All right, so the first story I want to talk about, the Acolyte. Okay, I know last week I did a really fun live stream all about the Acolyte. And yeah, I mean, it was canceled. It was not renewed for a season 2. Not going to get a season 2, but that isn't stopping fans from petitioning. They created a petition to try and get a second season. And I think it's really funny. I have not pulled up this petition yet. As of 11:39 a.m. Eastern time this morning, it had around 40,000 signatures, because 40,000 signatures is really going to get Star Wars and Lucasfilm and Disney to say, you know what? Let's give this show another shot. That's what that's going to do. But let's pull this up here. As of right now, the live show right now, it has 47,056 signatures. It had 7,000 signatures just today. Oh boy. Oh man, there's people talking. I don't know. Can you hear this? What? Please tell me if you can hear this. Oh, good. Oh, that is hilarious. Like, people are literally posting videos on here. Mhm. Wow. Alright, look. I, we went over this. It had 300 million views the final week of the finale. For the Nielsen charts, that barely charted at number 10. It barely charted in the top 10. The weeks prior to that, besides the first week, it hadn't charted, which means it didn't hit that 300 million mark. That was bad enough for Disney and Lucasfilm to say, no, we can't. Nope, it's done. It's gone. We're going to get rid of it. 47,000 signatures, which we're talking about a week now. It has been a week that this has been up, because it was last Tuesday that it was officially canceled. And I think the petition started Wednesday. It was like the next day. So we're talking about just about a week that this petition has been going on. For a week, this petition, and all they've got is less than 50,000 signatures. 50,000. And 300 million watchers, viewers, wasn't enough for it to stay on air. Do you see what, like, the correlate, like, the people? It was a bad show. And then there was that person who was on there who's the show was probably canceled due to low viewership, which is understandable. But I want Disney and Lucasfilm to understand that the low viewership was because of hate campaigning. No, it wasn't. Again, we see it time and time again. If a show is good, if a movie is good, it's going to get the views. It's going to get the viewership. It's going to get the ticket sales. It's going to get people if it is good. Regardless of how many people are sitting there trying to say it's bad, it's going to get the ticket sales. It's going to get the views because it is that good. If it is good, the Acolyte was not good. So to me, I just think this is ridiculous. I think it's laughable that you're going to sit here and see people try and push this. Look, I get that they want this. I get that they want to see the continuation. I've been on that side of it with other things. Look, I was a Snyder fan. The Snyder Cut, I pushed and wanted the Snyder Cut to happen. Luckily, it happened for me. That's a very different circumstance. That was a completed, nearly completed film that had, okay, it's a different thing. But this is a show that would need to go in full production. You're talking about $100 million plus dollars. Time, energy, scripts, directors, all of that. That's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And now we hear reports, which we're going to get into in another story, that Leslie Headland may have just been axed completely from Disney Lucasfilm completely due to this. And if that's the case, if that's true, if she's gone completely, then, well, there you have it. She's gone completely. Why bring her back at this point? Why bring her back? Because there's no reason. The show failed on every level. There's no point to bring her back. But let me know what you think about all this. Do you think this petition is going to do anything? Do you think any renew the Acolyte hashtags are going to do anything? Do you think there's any potential for the Acolyte to get renewed? I'm going to tell you this right now. Best case scenario for the Acolyte, any type of renewal, any type of anything, is you're probably going to see a comic/novel type of continuation. That is your best case scenario. But that would be them now needing to get Leslie Headland involved because this was her brainchild. And that may not be the case if the rumors are true that she is completely gone out of Lucasfilm completely. But let me know your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think that the Acolyte has a chance of coming back with this petition of less than 50,000 signatures with a hashtag renew the Acolyte? Do you think it's going to come back? Let me know your thoughts below. All right, guys. All right. So, like I said, there was another story that's Star Wars related. Like I said, we're going to go through kind of Star Wars, Marvel, DC, a bunch of stuff today. But this next story, like I said, Star Wars related. This is coming from That Park Place. It says, Lucasfilm scraps Taika Waititi's Star Wars film, and this is where I got the Leslie Headland is completely out, which is awesome. We'll not talk about that, though. It says, Rumor comes from Matt McGlone at Cosmic Book News, who reports conversations I've had with insiders at the recent Comic-Con have informed me that Taika Waititi is definitely not doing his Star Wars movie at Lucasfilm. Interesting. I know that, Taika Waititi, I was curious and interested about what he could do. Look, I do not like the Marvel films he did, but I like his non-Marvel movies he did. So I was okay, maybe he could pull off a Star Wars movie. I was open to the idea at least. But now that he's definitely not doing it, I I'm not surprised with Kathy Kennedy in charge, because the revolving door of directors and writers that go through Lucasfilm with her in charge is just astronomical. It's ridiculous. It continues, as for why YTD is out, McGloin's insider informed him it was due to Thor Love and Thunder, and specifically that YTD did not actually finish the movie. Now, this is interesting. This is very interesting. McGloin detailed that his insider informed him that the film was a complete disaster and that Marvel gave him the boot from the movie. Furthermore, McGloin explained, I was also told YTD didn't finish the reshoots in the final cut of the movie. He speculates that Marvel finished the film themselves rather than bringing in a new director. That could explain why the movie is so bad, because it wasn't a director that finished it. It was multiple visions. It was done by committee, because that movie is horrendous. That Thor Love and Thunder movie is terrible. I will say I did get a smile on my face at the end of the movie. I just have that little thing with Thor and Love at the very end. That just kind of like hit my heart a certain way. I did like that. But besides that, the rest of the movie was horrendous. It was terrible. That movie was terrible. So it kind of makes sense. Because for as much as I don't like Ragnarok, it at least felt like a film that was well put together. It just wasn't the type of film that I wanted for Thor. Love and Thunder just was terrible. And it didn't even feel like a film that was well put together like Ragnarok was. McGlone then declared, my insiders have said as a result that Taika Waititi is out at Lucasfilm and not doing his Star Wars movie. Now, Waititi, as recently as November 2023, admitted during an appearance Smart Podcast as recently as November 2023 that the only reason he made the Thor movies was for the paycheck. Let's see. Yeah, we've heard that before. He said that he just needed money for this because he had kids, blah, 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 that kind of stuff. Whatever. Which was, I mean, I think he was just trying to be funny there. Honestly, it's what he does. Let's see. Back in November 2023, he said, I know that I won't be involved, concentrated with other films I've signed on for. So let's see. I won't know. Where's this at? What is this for? Bring characters. This was more Thor. He said November 2023, he wouldn't be involved any longer with that. That's right. In May 2020 is when Star Wars announced the Taika Waititi movie. And again, it's been 4 years. 4 years since that was announced. Again, when you take a look at everything that goes on with Kathy Kennedy and Lucasfilm, here we sit 4 years since this was announced, just like what happened with the Lando series. Nothing comes to fruition. It just keeps getting pushed, keeps getting pushed, keeps getting pushed. Nothing comes to fruition. Should something have been put? Like, what is the deal? Even the Kevin Feige Star Wars, the rumored Kevin Feige Star Wars project, just never came to fruition. Kathy Kennedy needs out, is what the deal is. But what do you think? Do you think Taika Waititi is truly out? Do you want him out? Do you want him to make a Star Wars movie? Personally, at this point, after Love and Thunder, after what we're hearing, I mean, that's kind of crazy if that's true that he didn't finish Love and Thunder, that the Marvel Studios actually had to step in and finish the movie for him. Maybe we don't want him doing it. But what do you think? What do you think about this whole story? Do you want Taika Waititi? What do you want them to do with Star Wars movies, honestly? Like, that's the question. What do we want with Star Wars movies at this point? Because the way Star Wars has been at this point, I think we need a new direction, don't you think? Critic Chris, how's it going? Says the only shows I liked was The Mandalorian and Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm sorry, man. You liked Obi-Wan Kenobi? Oof. That's a big oof, really. That show is that's a big oof. That's for darn sure. Big oof. I was not a fan of Obi-Wan Kenobi. If you can't tell, not a fan of that show. It was pretty bad in my eyes. One more Star Wars story to go through, guys. Kind of. Let's see. We got Kathleen Kennedy will reportedly remain as Lucasfilm president until at least Q2 of 2025. Now, I did a video and a story about this, I want to say 2 weeks ago, where she talked about she would not be leaving until she got a big hit. I believe it was Chris Gore who stated that he heard from his sources that Kathy Kennedy is sticking around until she gets her one big hit. She wants a big hit, her big hit, and then she will leave. She will step down once she gets a big hit. Well, now we're hearing that she will reportedly remain until at least Q2 of 2025. Rightly or wrongly, and this is coming from bestbinbulletin.com, the president of Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, is always a topic of discussion among Star Wars fans, with questions usually raised whether or not Kennedy's tenure should continue, and a slew of rumors from typically very unreliable outlets and individuals that she's due to exit the role very soon, something that happens every few months. Very true. Currently, she is under contract until later this year as the president of Lucasfilm, following a 3-year extension signed in 2021. And though some fans hope that Kennedy exits the position once the contract expires, there's others that hope and expect Kennedy to sign another extension and continue in the position. Today, we have news that will likely upset the former and excite the latter. According to a reliable industry insider, Jeff Snyder from theinsider.com, Kathleen Kennedy is expected to remain as Lucasfilm president until at least Q2 of next year, Q2 being the months that run from April 1st to June 30th. This is bad news for Lucasfilm and Star Wars fans. We know that Kathleen Kennedy has a rich history of being a successful producer back in the 80s and the 90s, okay? Now, how involved she was with those films, you can take that as you want, believe what you want. But regardless, she's attached to those films as producers, those very, very successful films back in the day. Since taking over as the president, as the head of Lucasfilm, sure, the sequel trilogy were $3 billion plus movies. That's facts. All right. So you can't get past that. Rogue One made $1 billion as well. So under her belt, out of the first 5 movies, the 5 big projects under her belt, she made a lot of money box office wise. I'm going to say box office because that's important to highlight there. Box office, she made a lot of money. Profit-wise, that's a different story, which I did another video a few months ago based on that. But here's the thing. It's not just about the money. It's about how the company is run and perceived. And the way the company, Lucasfilm, is run and perceived today is pathetic. It is pathetic. We just talked about it with the Taika Waititi thing, and regardless whether he is deserving to not be having a Star Wars movie or not, or he should, whatever it is, that's not the first time we've seen this same issue. We saw it with Patty Jenkins. We saw it with Lord and Miller. We saw it with Josh Trank. We saw it with Gareth Edwards. The list goes on. J.J. Abrams, there was a falling out with. The list goes on with these little issues with writers and directors and Kathleen Kennedy. Why? Why does this keep happening? What is the issue where they hire a director, they partner with a director, they partner with a writer, they do something that says, okay, we're going to get so and so to come in and make this movie or write this movie or develop a movie or develop a project. And then all of a sudden, 2-3 years down the line, it falls apart. It never comes to fruition. And fans who were excited about it are now left, well, where's it at? Why don't we get it? This is upsetting. But don't worry, we get things like The Acolyte, which is complete and utter crap. Don't worry, we get that stuff. Don't worry, we get The Last Jedi. Oh, don't worry about that. We get utter crap like that. And I'm sorry, Critic Chris, but we also get crap like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Don't worry. Things that are half thought out, that don't understand the ideas and concepts of Star Wars. Don't worry, we get those. That want to push agendas, that don't want to take Star Wars seriously, that only want to pander to one sect of the audience, that don't want to look at Star Wars as a whole. Don't worry. Now, I'm not saying Taika Waititi would have done that. I'm not saying that Patty Jenkins would do that. I'm not saying that some of these other filmmakers that have been fired and let go would have done that. But what I'm highlighting and what I'm saying is you've had handfuls of filmmakers come through this door, promised to the fans that they were going to be making films or projects, only to be booted out with no real reason given. The ones that do get to make projects, more often than not, make absolute crap projects. What is the issue here? What is going on? There's one constant. There is one singular constant at Lucasfilm since 2012 that makes these decisions. Yet that person is still there. I'm not going to sit there and be like Doomcock or any of the other people that sit there and freak out all the time and say, oh, she needs to be fired because X, Y, Z, and she's a feminist and this and that. Look, I'm laying out the facts. I give her credit. Like I said, those first 5 movies, she made a lot of money at the box office. A lot of money. She brought Star Wars back to the big screen. That was exciting. But you can't deny that there are issues at Lucasfilm with her in control. And why is it that Bob Iger and Disney just ignore it? What is the reason for them ignoring it? That is the concern I have. That is the issue that I have. Is there something in the clause, in the agreement with George Lucas and Disney where she can only leave on her terms, that they cannot fire her? Is there something in her contract where if she gets fired, she gets a big payout? Like, is there something that we as fans, as people who are criticizing this, that we are missing? Because none of this makes sense. For this to go on as long as it has, it does not make sense. And that is a huge problem. That is a huge, huge, huge problem for Star Wars. And it's pathetic. It truly, truly is pathetic. I just don't understand how it could have gone on this long. I don't know. But like I said, we have one story from Chris Gore who says, hey, she's going to go after her next big hit. Now, the next movie isn't due to come out till 2026. And if that's the case, that's The Mandalorian and Grogu. If that movie happens to be a big hit, maybe she's out of here then. But according to this, which is coming from Jeff Snyder at the Insider, she could be gone as soon as, well, like 9 months from now. Which would be exciting. Would be awesome. But I don't know. What do you think? I want to know what you think. Do you think they're going to let her walk away? Do you think that they're going to extend her? Her contract is up at the end of this year. Do you think they extend her? Do you think she walks away? Do you think she hears all of this from the fans? Like, what do you think? That's what I want to know. What do you think about all this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear it. For sure. Yeah. All right. Interesting. Interesting for sure. All right. We're going to actually move over to a quick little DC update because, well, who doesn't love DC talk, right? Everybody loves a little DC talk, right? Everybody loves DC, I guess. I think. Looks like the Amanda Waller series is shaping up to be something rather big, something crazy from the sound of it. Now, if you head over to slavsfreetalk.com, you can read this whole article. But it says, sources indicate that the upcoming Amanda Waller series for the DC universe is set to be a much larger production than initially expected. It's also rumored to have substantial connection to the Andy Muschietti's upcoming Batman film, Brave and the Bold. This means that fans can anticipate a rich narrative tapestry that intertwines both projects, which is really exciting because seeing Waller and Batman, that's always an interesting aspect in the comics and in animation. Those two always just have that relationship that just they bash their head. I like that idea. I wanted to, we started to see it in the DCEU. It'll be fun to see it in the DCU if they play it right. So I'm looking forward to that. The series looks to adopt a more grounded and darker tone compared to the DCU's Peacemaker series, which I think a lot of people will enjoy. I know that there are a lot of people out there who don't like the tone of Peacemaker. They don't like Peacemaker because Peacemaker is too dick and fart jokey, for instance. They don't like that aspect. Some people like it, some people don't. But Amanda Waller is going to be darker, more grounded, and that makes sense for her. I get that. Which had more comedic reference. Yes. The creators of the Amanda Waller series are aiming for a more serious exploration of themes, delving into the complexities of its characters and their motivations. Additionally, the show will draw inspiration from two significant comic runs, Phoenix Gambit and the Janus Directive. These story arcs are known for their intricate plots and rich character development, and adapting them from the series could provide a compelling narrative that resonates with both longtime fans and newcomers to DC Universe. As the project develops, it promises to deliver a thrilling and engaging experience that expands the Waller character and her universe. And then this kind of goes over what each comic series, the Phoenix Gambit and Janus Directive is. I'm kind of excited about this now. I think that the Waller series could be very, very interesting and fun for sure. Hundriggy, what's up? Hey, I do. I think that this could be really, really, really fun and interesting and different. Look, there are people out there who want the darker take, want the more serious tone in the DCU, and that's going to happen here. That is what is going to happen. We're going to get that in the DCU. People are so dead set on this idea that James Gunn is running the DCU. It's all going to be jokey. It's not. That was the idea of what he revealed back when he revealed Chapter 1, Gods and Monsters. The whole idea of that reveal was to say, look, you're going to have a little bit of the lighthearted wholeheartedness. You're going to have some jokey like Peacemaker. You're going to have some of this darkness with Swamp Thing and Waller, and Brave and the Bold. Like that was the whole idea. Is he was showcasing like you have these different areas that are very different types of movies, even within this first chapter. That's what he was doing. Perhaps he didn't explain it properly in his delivery and explaining everything, but it's kind of different. It's tough. It's different. He's never had to really explain this before. And even if it was Kevin Feige up there explaining it, he's not a great explainer of something like that either. You kind of want to back off. You kind of hold back on some things because you don't want to risk giving away too much either, especially when you don't have the scripts done and ready to go and you're still in the development stages. But I think he had an idea. I think they had an idea of how they want to take this, and they understood. Yeah, we got our Peacemaker, which is the Dick Farty jokey. You got your Superman that's going to be more, wholeheartedly and very Superman. You got your Batman, which is going to be Batman and dark. You got your Swamp Thing that's going to be dark and gritty. You got your Waller that's going to be grounded and dark. And I think they had that idea from the start. They just didn't explain it well enough. But we're seeing as more things start to get developed and the scripts are made and they start casting and production start ramping up, you're going to see, and all of this is going to be revealed that, hey, this is what's happening. Things like this are happening. This is what things are going to be. And the DC universe is going to be just having a plethora of tones, and it's all going to mesh together. And that's exciting. That's new. That's better than what we've seen in the past from DC. It's different than what we've seen from Marvel. And that's what's exciting. That's what I like about it. That's what I won't say I like about it, but that's what I find hopeful about the DCU, because it's different. It's different than what we've seen in the past. Marvel kind of started doing that at one point. They were like, hey, we're going to do the espionage. We're going to do the comedy. We're going to do the space. We're going to do this. And then they kind of got away from that and just stuck to one tone for a while. And then they tried to do it again. And then they kind of got all screwed up. And who the hell knows what they're doing now? DC, the DCEU just was a complete disaster. They didn't know what they were doing. There's a plan now. And that's what's exciting. That's what's hopeful. Because they have a plan. They're like, okay, we're going to do this here. 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 And let's go for it. This character is going to be darker and grittier. This character is going to be more grounded. This one's going to be like this. This one's going to be like this. And let's just go and have fun and make the character rich. Let's make the character like it is supposed to be in the comics, and let's get it all fitting in this universe. And that's what's great about it. But let me know what you think about this. It's interesting. For sure. So let me know what you think about Waller, this rumor, also being connected to Brave and the Bold. I mean, Muschietti, he just finished up Welcome to Derry. I know that post-production is pretty much ongoing with that, but he's going to be rushing right into Brave and the Bold now, I believe. After Welcome to Derry's filming's done. They're in post-production with that. He's moving right into Brave and Bold. That's exciting, which means with Waller going on, if they are going to be connecting it to Brave and the Bold, that means he's going to be able to match things up. It's going to be perfect. They just need to get their Batman, which I think they're going to have their Batman, because if it does connect, I guarantee Bruce Wayne or Batman shows up in this show. So they're going to have their Batman soon, I think. That's what I think. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below on the Amanda Waller series and what they're doing at the DCEU. Jeez, habit at the DCU. Let me know your thoughts. All right, Hunter Iggy, I did show Slav Free Talk. What's up? What's going on, man? Thanks for stopping by. It's nice to see you. I'm a little disappointed. I'm not going to lie. The show's not as exciting and as many. There's not as many viewers as there's been the last couple weeks, so that's a little disappointing for sure. Last couple weeks I just had a bunch of people on my live streams, and that was fun. This episode not so much. Maybe Thursday's live show. Don't forget, I will be doing a show on Thursday. I'm going to shoot for probably about like 8:30 p.m. That's what I'm going to shoot for, somewhere around that time. 8:15, 8:30, probably around there. So keep an eye out for that. If you're looking forward to another live show, that one, I put the question out in the community on my YouTube. Look, you guys want to talk about the Snyderverse? That's what we're going to talk about. It's going to be about the Snyderverse. We'll talk about the Snyderverse, the DCEU, what happened. That's what we're talking about on Thursday. So make sure you tune in. Keep a lookout for what time it starts. I'll have everything put up probably by tomorrow, Wednesday at the latest, for Thursday's live show. All right? So Snyderverse discussion. I want as many people there to talk to me about that. I want a great discussion about the Snyderverse. And I would love if you guys would join in on that discussion because I think it'll be great. All right. Moving on to the next story. We're moving out of DC now into the Marvel realm. And this story popped up, and this is just ridiculous. Robert Downey Jr. is getting paid $95 million. Reportedly. $95 million for Doctor Doom role in Avengers Doomsday. That's absurd. That's absolutely absurd. Not any one person should get paid that much money to play make pretend at all. I'm sorry. Look, Robert Downey Jr. is a great actor. He is. There's no doubt about it. He is a fantastic actor. One of my favorite movies that he's ever been in was Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Excellent movie. If you've never seen that, go find that movie. Came out in like 2005. Him, Val Kilmer, Michelle Monaghan, Shane Black, I believe. He wrote it. I think he directed it as well. Fantastic movie. Go find it if you've never seen it before. He's excellent in it. He's a great actor. But is he $95 million? This can't be right. Like, it can't be. Like, that is absurd kind of money. And I know he just won an Academy Award. Again, deserving. Absolutely deserving. But nobody, not any person, deserves to make $95 million for playing make pretend. Nobody. I'm sorry. It's just that is absurd FU money. Like that is what that is. Like, I'm sorry. Look, he did his time at Marvel. He made Marvel what it is. There's no doubt about it. If it wasn't for him and Iron Man, you would not have had Avengers. If it wasn't for him sticking around and doing Civil War, you wouldn't then have Avengers Infinity War and Endgame. So I get it. You wouldn't have these films. You wouldn't have this universe if not for Robert Downey Jr. I get that. But if you think about it, $95 million, that is a third of the budget of that movie. Because if that is really 95, if that's just for Avengers Doomsday, which I can't imagine it, like, that has to be his whole payday for whatever he's going to be in for the next few years. Because if that's just for Doomsday, like, I can't imagine Avengers Doomsday being more than $300 million. I can't. $300 million is what I would say the top for how much the budget is for that movie. That is a third of that. So a third of that budget is going to one actor. One actor. That's insane. That is absolutely insane. I just can't imagine that. But that's the rumor. That's what they're saying. I don't know. Again, like I said, I think this is probably inaccurate. I'm guessing this is for both Avengers Doomsday as well as Avengers Secret Wars, and quite possibly one or two cameo spots, which is, I think he'll probably pop up at the end of Fantastic Four and probably pop up, which we're going to talk about in our next story, in our final story, in one other movie. But yeah, I can't imagine that it's just one movie. That is insane. But let me know what you think. Do you think this is real? Do you think this is possible? Does it make sense? Like, come on. This is absurd. This is absolutely absurd. Hunter Iggy says, I saw 400 million. I'm guessing you're saying you saw 400 million for the budget for Avengers Doomsday. That's just stupid. That's just stupid. I'm sorry. That's stupid money. That is stupid money for a movie. You should no. We talked about it in the past. Budgets for movies should not cost any more than like $250 right now. They shouldn't. 300 is too much for a movie budget. It's too much. Even in today's age with with superhero films. That's 300 is too much money. So if you go over that 300 million, it's stupid. I don't know if Doomsday makes $1 billion. I'm sure it'll make $1 billion, but at 400 million, just think about this. At $400 million, at $400 million, you're looking at another 200 million, 250 million for marketing. So you're looking at 600 million right there just on your spend. All right. So 600 million there. So to start making money, to quote unquote make money, you have to get about over that $600 million mark. But then anything over that 600 million, half of that is going to be going to the theater chain. So where's that profit coming from? Like, you're not, man, it's just, yeah, it's just not a good look. It's just not a good look. I don't know. All right. Final story of the day, guys. Final story of the day. Now, this story comes from Daniel RPK. So take this as you will. Take it with a grain of salt, I say. I did throw it over at slavsfreetalk.com. My buddy Josh over there wrote this up for us. Rumor, Spider-Man 4, another spin into the multiverse. Some big news for Spider-Man fans. Production on Spider-Man 4 is set to kick off next year with a release date slated for July 2026. This upcoming installment will find itself nestled between two highly anticipated films, Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. Initially, there was a belief that the next Spider-Man movie would take a more grounded approach, focusing on street-level threats. Rumors even swirled about potential team-ups with beloved characters like Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and other members of the Defenders. Fans were eager to see Spidey tackle more relatable challenges, delving into the gritty underbelly of New York City alongside these iconic heroes. And the rumor comes from Daniel RPK. Spider-Man 4 will most likely touch on the multiverse as expected. Spider-Man 4 will now film next year and is slated to release on July 2026 between Doomsday and Secret Wars, meaning that, yes, this is very likely going to be another multiverse movie. This is interesting. I was skeptical about the whole idea that this Spider-Man movie was going to be grounded. It was going to be street level. It was going to be in New York City to begin with. Even though the way that No Way Home ended, that's kind of what it left itself open to. But we started hearing rumblings about a year ago that Sony didn't want that. Sony didn't want to just be grounded. They've done that multiple times. The success that they had with No Way Home, they wanted that again. They wanted that success that they had, and they saw that Marvel was opening the doors to the multiverse, and they were like, we want Spidey in those doors. We want to have that success too again. We want to have fun there. So it makes sense that they wanted to push that route and push that direction. But not only that, but the multiverse saga is nearing its end. Absolutely, it's nearing its end. So with the multiverse coming to its conclusion, you can't just have Spider-Man off doing his own thing and not even be involved with that. And yes, I get, well, nobody remembers who Spider-Man is. I get that. That's besides the point. You can still have Spider-Man involved. The problem, the issue is trying to figure out a good story to get him in there now. Because nobody remembers who he is. There's no Tony Stark to pull him in. How do you get Spider-Man into this? So that's the issue. But I think they'll be able to do it. They're going to want to pull Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield back in somehow. They're going to want to pull this whole multiversal aspect into the Spider family again somehow. That's what's going to be interesting, how they do that. That doesn't mean that they can't still explore the street level and the Defenders aspect and the groundedness of Spider-Man. They could do part of the movie like that. They can showcase that in the beginning of the film that he has become, excuse me, that he has become a street level hero. You can absolutely do that. But that something happens, that there's multiversal aspect is becoming a looming threat, and that he gets pulled into this. That could be interesting. And maybe he gets pulled out of his universe into the Tobey Maguire universe or into the Andrew Garfield universe. That could be interesting. That would be different. That could be fun. And I would be down for that. But how does it work? How does it work? Where do we go from there? That's the part that I think is confounding, is confusing too many, because how do you make this work? Obviously people are getting sick of the multiverse. So how do you sell this to the Spider-Man fans? We just saw the multiverse in No Way Home. So, and then like I said, you saw the end of No Way Home where he was going to be a street level hero. It's going to be a hard sell for sure, but I think it can be done. I do. I think it can be done. I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Please, just make it good. Different director, get away from John Watts. He did a fine job with those 3 Spider-Man movies, but I think we need something that's going to be a little more grown up. I think that's the biggest thing, is make him grown up. Make him a 20-something-year-old Spider-Man now. Bring in Miles Morales. That way, when he happens to leave, make that happen where Miles Morales gets left behind. And maybe you have Miles Morales stuck in New York City in this universe, struggling with becoming or being bitten or whatever it is, however you make him Spider-Man, have him struggling with understanding these powers while Peter Parker's gone. Something like that. Like, there's all these different angles that you can take. So you have Peter off doing his thing. Miles Morales got bit. And you see him like, what is going on? And then you follow Peter for the rest of the movie. And then you come back and you see, Miles Morales is got this bite and he's becoming a Spider-Man also. That could be cool. That could be fun. That could be exciting. And then you have 2 Spider-Mans for Secret War. That could be fun. Well, 2 from the 616. And then you got your Tobey Maguire and your Andrew Garfields and any others that you want to throw in there somehow. That could be fun as well. But I don't know. I want to know what you guys think, though. I do. I want to know what you think about this, because it's an intriguing idea. It's an intriguing aspect. And, I remember the build up to No Way Home, all the theorizing, all the excitement that was surrounding it. That was probably the most fun that I have ever had as a pulp culture commentator ever. I had so much fun on the build up to No Way Home, just theorizing, talking about what could be with Spider-Man No Way Home. Sure, we knew some little information, bits of information. I even had information passed to me from leakers, from scoopers and stuff like that. It was great. It was so much fun to have information, to converse with people, to theorize on stream with people. That was so much fun. That was some of the most, it was the most fun that I've had as a pulp culture commentator. If they can do that again with this next Spider-Man movie, why the heck not? Why not do it again? Why not go for the multiverse again? Why not? Look, it's not going to be as bad as Venom. It's not going to be as bad as Craven the Hunter. It's not going to be as bad as Madam Web. It's not going to be as bad as Morbius. Those films were terrible. They got Marvel Studios backing them. They know what they're doing. It's going to be fine. It's going to be fun. It's going to be good. It's going to be exciting. That's what matters. But what do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I want to know what you have to say about this for sure, because it's exciting. Spider-Man 4, another spin into the multiverse. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button, hit subscribe. Do a super thanks. Why not? Do a super thanks for this amazing content. Support me. I'm okay with that. I'm not above asking you guys to support me for, a couple bucks my way. Why not? I'm not above that. Right? All right. I don't know, man. I was kind of hoping I have more people watching the live show today. I really was. But I guess not. I guess we just don't have that many people that wanted to watch today. That's unfortunate. That's all right. I think I covered all of the news that I wanted to cover today. I don't have anything else. I do think it's kind of funny that you have a lot of people who are complaining about the RDJ getting paid $95 million dollars, and they say, you could use that money to make the Acolyte season 2. Oh, man. Um, yeah, that's just, I'm sorry. People are just ridiculous. They are ridiculous. All right. Well, I guess that's about it for me. I got nothing else. If nobody else wants to talk to me, that's fine. That's fine. It's all right. I guess with all that said, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Make sure you hit that like button, hit subscribe. Like I said, again, my next show will be Thursday night. I am going to be doing a live show Thursday night where I talk about the Snyderverse, the DCEU, the failures of the DCEU. I believe that's how I put it. Is that how I put it? Let's double check. I want to make sure because next week I will be doing live show, discuss the failure of the DCEU and Snyderverse. I put a poll up on my YouTube community and the votes 100%. I said, discuss the failures of the DCEU Snyderverse or discuss and rank my top 10 favorite MCU films. And 100% said the Snyderverse DCEU failures. So that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. So we're going to talk about that. And here's the thing. I want everybody to discuss it with me. I don't want people to come in here freaking out, calling names about Snyder. Look, Snyder did what he did. We're going to talk honestly and truthfully about that stuff. We're going to talk about what happened. But most importantly, we're going to discuss why the failures of the DCU and Snyderverse happened and why those same failures are not going to happen now. And that's what we're going to discuss. But let me know your thoughts of this show in the comments below. Of all the things we talked about, make sure you hit that like button, hit subscribe, become a Slav Geek Talker. Support me, $2.99 a month. It's not that much. $2.99 a month will support me and this channel. You get some some additional content, some exclusive videos. Once I start getting members in there, I will be putting out exclusive content. Also, these live shows after a month do go behind that wall of Slav Geek Talkers. Only can see these on replay. I do pull clips out from them, but not the entire episode. So only clips come out, but the whole episode is exclusive to Slav Geek Talkers after a month. But then there will also be more exclusive content. So make sure you become a Slav Geek Talker. Support me. $2.99 a month. Not that bad. With all that said, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you all later.